Jesse with Red Room Cinema. I am here in the Red Room and I am proud to present the new collection of anamorphic lenses to the Red Room. If you have already seen the test footage, you already know what I got. Here they are, the Blazar anamorphic 1.5 Viper series. Comes in this beautiful hard case. Let's open it up. Tiffany, open case number 5. This is some dealer mobile. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so we got the 35, the 50 millimeter, and then the 75 millimeter. You do have to put them in the slots that they belong to because the 75 is just very slightly bigger than the other ones. And I tried to put it on the 35 slot, and when I try to close it, it just a little more tension. So it comes with these things, some shimmies. Honestly, I don't know what that's for. I'll get to it when I learn. And it comes with an extra slot, so I know they're gonna be adding, right, like a fourth lens. I don't know which one I'm gonna get, the 100 or the 125. It just depends on the image, but I definitely will be getting one of those and adding it to the Viper series. It comes with these nice foam slots, and obviously this is like harder, but yeah, this is the case it comes with. Here's a 35. They all are very similar on the size, so we're gonna do a very quick overview on what I think about these lenses. So let's just talk specs right off the bat. If you buy the kit, it costs about $3,000 US. It comes with the nice hard case. I just couldn't decide between the 35 millimeter and the 50 millimeter. They both have their pros and cons. And when you're jumping into the cinema world and prime lenses, you don't have a zoom, so each focal length counts. The weight, they weigh less than 633 grams, approximately 1.4 pounds, or about 22 ounces. I got the silver ambient flare, so one thing I noticed when I was getting footage was that when the sun hit the glass, it actually gave me an orange flare, and when I used the flashlight, it gave me that blue flare. So they call it the silver flare. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just thought it was supposed to give a silver one no matter what. Or maybe because it is silver, whatever color is given into the glass, it matches that. Which is actually what I wanted in the first place. I wanted an anamorphic lens that can give me orange and blue. At the time, that was, that makes sense. You wouldn't want a blue flare with the sun. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look right. So the front diameter is 80 millimeters, and then the filter thread is 77, which is actually really good because that means we can use existing ND filters that we already have. Now, to all those Canon C80 users, we have built-in ND filters, so we don't have to worry about mounting a filter on the front, but we can add those just like for shooting at nighttime, with the matte box. I'm still gonna get a matte box, but it won't be for the ND. However, it's just a really good size. It's nothing crazy, nothing big, just because once you get into a big filter thread and it starts to get a little messy on trying to find the right thing. So those are the specs. Now let's talk about the pros. The pros of these lenses is the price, also a con, right? Because they start at $1,000 each. Now when you look at other anamorphics that are out in the market, some guy commented in the other video, Panavision. Okay, I don't have a lot of information on Panavision. I do have information on Siri. They're probably like $500. Super affordable anamorphic lenses, right? But they obviously give you a different look. Now, for $1,000 for the image that that you're getting, I think it's a great price. The size is excellent because it's very small, it's very lightweight, but it still has enough weight to help whenever you're balancing it on a gimbal. I threw the 50mm on the gimbal, the DJI RS2 Pro. Yes, I still have that one because I haven't upgraded because I don't want to pay another $1,000 for another gimbal. But it was like maxed out. I took it to the park and the gimbal was like, I could no longer push the dials any further. And I barely got it to work. Okay, so the image, I mean the weight is good. Now the image, it looks really good. When I was in LA, all those shots, it just looks very good. And I shot everything at 4K 23 frames per second. I shot it in log 2. I threw in the Rec 709 LUT that comes from Canon, and I bought some LUTs from this guy who also had a Canon C80, and I just kind of tweaked with the colors a bit. That's what you're seeing. So it has no barrel distortion. Okay, to the guy who commented on my other video, that comes from the Blazar Remus. Okay, these are not the Blazar Remus. If you like the Blazar Remus, stay with the Blazar Remus. Now the Blazar Remus, okay, go on Facebook Marketplace, wherever you're at right now. If you who are watching this have the Blazar Remus, you probably put your Remuses on sale on Facebook Marketplace. Where were you guys at 5 months ago, 4 months ago? I was looking for the Blazar Remuses and nobody was selling them, and now with the Viper release, they just came out of everywhere. So the Blazar Remus, don't get me wrong, they're a nice lens, but they're a special lens. Okay, it's like a cake. You can eat different cakes at all kinds of different parties, but sometimes when the cake is so many ingredients go to it, that cake doesn't fit at every event. So the Blazar Remuses, because of the barrel distortion, and then you only focus on the center, right? So everything from my arms out, you can't focus there. So you really have to like make it work with what you got here. And when you're a filmmaker, right, you want to give yourself tools that help you, not hinder you. That's how I see it in my perspective. I spoke to somebody else who's also a filmmaker. He saw the footage from the Vipers that I got, and you know, he said, "Don't listen to the comments, Jesse. That person can't remove the barrel distortion. If you want barrel distortion, you use it when it's necessary, not all the time. Because if you use it all the time, like you're devaluing your shots. You have to really be intentional with what you're doing. You can always add that barrel distortion into your shots if you really wanted to." So shout out Guyard for having my back and clarifying. And that's also advice to just anybody, right? Sometimes it's easier to add stuff to your shot than it is to have a lens in which you can't remove things from, because that's how it's built, right? So not to talk down on the Blazar Remus, I think those are great lenses. If they send them to me, I'll check them out, I'll receive them for free, but I would give my honest review on them. However, this video is sponsored by me, well, by God, by giving me the ability to get these lenses and for saving my life. More on that in the next coming videos. But I paid for this with my own money, so Blazar has no say in what I'm saying. You know, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that companies will send them these lenses, and they have like, these are my notes that I personally wrote, but they have their notes that they have to like pass on to you. So you have to really think, is this person really trying to sell me this lens? Do they have my best interest because they really like this lens? Or, you know, they just want to get a sell more with their discount code, right? I don't have a discount code. So any gear that I post here, it's gonna be honest and it's gonna be legit. So not selling out. Okay, the lens, the focus ring on the lens, it's very smooth. The focus ring is very smooth, and it's just enough to get the ring going from side to side. And then the The T-stop ring is actually a bit harder, and I know they did this intentionally just so you don't accidentally move it, and that way it's just very smooth, both of them. But the T-stop, it is harder to turn for that same reason, just to help you not accidentally, switch your exposure when you're filming. Yeah, and then the cons is the price. I mean, if you're new to the anamorphic world, $1,000 for one lens, you're like, what the heck? This is a lot of money. To those that are a bit more deep into videography, cinematography, you kind of already know that this is like the ballpark, right, where lenses usually cost. But this lens is really great for that price. Okay, so I'm gonna dive into each individual lens and characteristics that I liked about them. So we're gonna jump into the 35mm. This lens is very wide. It's nice to really get those establishing shots. I went to the Queen Mary. I got the whole boat in one frame, except for like the ladder spot where, people are loading up. That bridge in downtown LA, I really like that shot with the 35. It could have only have been done with the 35. It would have been more challenging with the 50mm because I would have to go more back, right? So if you work in a lot of places where you don't have a lot of room, that can kind of help you decide on which lens, if you can only get one, right, or two, which one to get. Again, I could focus anywhere within that frame, unlike the Blazar Remus. The Blazar Remus, you have the barrel distortions on the side, so you can't really use the sides to expose your shot, right? It gives nice flares, orange and blue. I noticed that the farther you are, the less the flare is, and also the type of flashlight you use, the stronger it is, the more flare you're gonna get. Overall, the 35mm, I really like that lens. Excellent for establishing shots. Now the 50mm, it's a great mid-range. It can still get wide shots with just kind of like a more punch-in take. It has great flares. Again, no barrel distortion. You could focus anywhere. It gives you a nice, beautiful image. Everything's built in uniform, so the 50mm, the 35, the 75, everything is very almost identical. So it really helps to make your job easier when you film. Just make sure you're looking at the numbers so you know which lens you're actually putting on the camera. I used the 50mm. I threw it on the gimbal. Like I said, I got this thing to balance miraculously at the full max, and it was good. I know I need to upgrade my gimbal just because I was struggling. I couldn't move the gimbal too much just because those micro jitters would unbalance the camera. Now let's move to the 75mm. Beautiful lens with the close-up shots. You could still get some scene in the background. Beautiful bokeh. I didn't really do a lot of, oval bokeh and testing just because I've had these lenses for like a week to a week and a half. I think the 75 gives the most juiciest flare. So again, no barrel distortion. It's slightly bigger, but not by much from all the other lenses. And the Red Room overview for these lenses. I think they're excellent lenses. I've been in the market for some. I used to have the Sirui, and I was thinking about getting the Sirui Iron Star. However, I think those are very sharp. Like, they are very sharp anamorphic lenses, and for the image that I want to get, they weren't it. That's why I kind of held back on buying them. And here's the thing, anamorphic lenses or just any piece of camera gear in general, hear me, everything is subjective. To one person, you know, these lenses can be horrible, and then to another person like me, I love these lenses. I'm not paid to say that. I paid my own money for these lenses. I'm just telling you, you know, my experience. There's a lot of people in the internet. I saw the video of Maddie Mech something, you know, and I agree with him. There's a lot of people saying a bunch of crazy stuff online about gear and lenses, and you know, don't be a sheep. If you're very curious about a certain lens that everybody keeps talking bad about, but you really want to dive into, say maybe the Blazar Rimas, go to your local camera store. Try it on your camera. Try it in their camera if you don't have a camera. That way you can get hands-on with whatever piece of gear that you have, and your final decision is not decided, you know, by some person on YouTube, even like someone like me. So I didn't want to compromise between the 35 and the 50 millimeter. Like I said, you want to have the most tools you can have, also staying within your price range and your budget. I'm just kind of a go big or go home guy, so I tend to save money, sacrifice. Let me show you the shoes I got. See these shoes? I went to Savers. Do you guys know what Savers is? It's like a Goodwill. I paid $13 for these shoes. 13. They're my gym shoes. Oh man, sometimes I even go running with them. They're literally saying, "I'm tired, boss." But look at them. They're still here. And the reason I say that is manage your money a bit different, right? What are you willing to sacrifice? I'm willing to buy $13 shoes so that I can get the Blazar Vipers, right? Like, you can do it. You just have to see what you're willing to sacrifice. Break up with your girlfriend. Those just chug the money out of you. I'm single, by the way. Okay, so also, huge thing, okay? The DZO Arcanas. I was looking at those two. Beautiful image, great lens. I don't have enough to say, give a concrete opinion on them. However, a big takeaway from the Vipers and also the Arcanas is the Arcanas have focus breathing. Again, this is subjective. I kind of don't like the focus breathing it gives because I feel like it distracts me. And if it distracts me, maybe it distracts other people. Maybe it doesn't. I'm just a perfectionist, so I pay attention to all those little things. I probably have seen a bunch of movies where I never focused on the focus breathing. However, I did pick it up this time, and that's why I just kind of crossed off the Arcanas. If they want to send them to me and I do a comparison between the both, you know, they could do it, but I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna be raw. I'm gonna be log 2, okay? So whatever gear gets sent to me, it's gonna be log, okay? There's no buttering it up. So yeah. Who do I see using these lenses? You can use these for music videos, for short films, for movies. These lenses are gonna shape up the cinema world, the movie making world. Mark my words. These lenses, for the size, the price, the image, the quality, you're gonna be seeing these lenses being used in Hollywood for sure. I already know. I have my Canon C80. This is RF mount. I got a Nisi adapter. It was like 200 bucks. You know, I panicked right away because they had a little mount here. You could see the holes. It had this little like extra mounting, right? So when I tried to put this in here, I was like, no. I was like freaking out. And then my dad had a tool because I was at his house, and then like I unscrewed it, and I was like, my day was, it was made. Just because it was at the end of the day, it was like 5:30 p.m. I just had the lenses, and so I really wanted to test the lenses out. So this little thing gave me a little heart attack, just because I thought I wasn't gonna be able to use anything. So yeah, Canon C80, the Viper lenses. I really like them. And then just remember, these lenses are only manual, so unless you got your IR systems and all of that. But yeah, overall, I mean, I don't know how long this YouTube video is gonna be, but I can yap about camera gear, and I used to like be super hard on myself just because I can yap. You know, sometimes I yap to the wrong people in person, like in real life, about camera gear, and that's not their thing. So to them, I sound like a weirdo. But to you guys, if you guys really wanted to watch this video, I'm sure you guys stayed to the end. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I do have some more projects lined up with these lenses. All of my projects are gonna be with these lenses. So yeah, I'm excited. I want to do a music video in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna probably aim for 2. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. Any questions that you have, comment them down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.